Have you heard? Metro by T-Mobile now includes Amazon Prime. Yes, enjoy the best of shopping and entertainment, movies, TV shows, music, free shipping, and much more. All included for just $40 per line for 3 lines. All on the T-Mobile network. Discover the smarter way. Metro by T-Mobile. That's genius. One offer per account. Offer subject to change. $12.99 per month value. Offer valid for new Amazon Prime members. Metro customers may notice reduced speeds versus some T-Mobile customers. Video at 480p. Capable device required. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Aquarian Radio at aquarianradio.com. I am your host, Janet Care Lessin, with my co-host, Karen Christine Pat. Today is a special episode of Anomaly Network with panel members Bret Sheppard, Thomas Mikey Schroder Jensen, and Jose Escamilla. And we're going to discuss Mars, Moon, and Earth, and all the solar system anomalies. Karen, could you please tell our listeners a little bit more about what this show is about?
I'd be glad to, Janet. I'm really excited about this show because I've been watching the anomaly movement for quite some time. It just keeps getting better and better. And we've started a new series on Aquarian Radio called the Anomaly Network, which allows us to share all the different exciting things happening. 2015 is the year of the Anomaly Hunter. Anomaly Hunters have joined forces in a new organization, the United Family of Anomaly Hunters, UFAH, UFAH, UFAH. Amazing finds on the Earth, the Moon, Mars, and in space are changing the game of what we are told is out in space. Jose Escamilla will be coming to tell us about his new movie, UFOs from Outer Space. Thomas Mikey Schroder Jensen will tell us about the UFO, United Family of Anomaly Hunters, and we'll go a little bit into the Baltic Sea Anomaly, which is one that I've known about for a while, and he has got a lot more information on. Bret Colin Sheppard is going to be talking about his amazing finds this year. You can find it on UFOonMars.com, and it's a UFO on Mars. It's been dubbed the Jupiter 2 UFO, and it's got quite a bit of traction. Thank you for Thomas for making a wonderful video. So we'll be talking about that. I, Karen Christine Patrick, will be sharing about the NASA astronaut Ken Johnston, whose autobiography is coming out. It's going to include some fascinating images from his archive. And I'm also his editor and publisher. So we're going to be talking about that. He's going to be with us on Thursday this coming week, and I'll tell you more about that at the end. And we're going to talk a little bit about also the 4th annual Mars Anomaly Research Society Conference in Mobile, Alabama. And this is going to be a super exciting show. So I know we're trying to get Jose on with us, and Janet's working on that. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Thomas Mikey Schroder Jensen and Bret Colin Sheppard. They're both with us. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Oh, in unison. That's even better. Well, we're originally going to have Thomas with us solely that with his discoveries, but he's worked with Jose Escamilla on the new film. His work is in that film, I believe. Bret Colin Sheppard's work for the UFO on Mars is in that film. And I'm going to let Thomas tell us a little about the Anomaly Hunter, United Family, and it does feel like a family, United Family of Anomaly Hunters organization. Give us your pitch that you say on the elevator about this new organization. It's awesome. Are you with us, Thomas?
Yes, I with you. I have. It's not the best. So the last word you said just broke up, and you asked about your UFA family group,
yes.
Yes.
Yes,
You
tell us
asked.
about that. Yes.
Yes. UFAH, the United Family of Anomaly Hunters, is basically a collaboration between several Facebook groups that all has Anomaly Hunters in common. And we had a lot of talk behind the scenes, and we found out to get together and join each other in one group, a family where we share all our postings, and it's all about disclosure. It's all about sharing the best of our with the rest of our world. We have a lot of groups. As far as I know, we have 7 groups now in the family, all about anomaly in space, and it's an awesome little group. We got together here, and we achieved quite a lot of results so far, and we are reaching out to as many as possible by joining Facebook together as UFAH. So this is basically about disclosure, and it's basically about sharing the best of our finds, as I said before, with the rest of our world, with as many as possible. And we have a lot of talk behind the scene. We have a lot of communication, and one of the best things we achieved by creating the UFAH is all the communication we have behind the scene. We have some chat boards that we are meeting up in. We have the Skype interviews where we discuss a picture. We discuss how to make a picture look better, and we discussed behind the scene what software we use and how to do this and how to do to a specific picture or a video, and or how to handle issues in the different groups. So UFAH is basically about getting together and be better to present our work to the rest of the world here. I know you've seen some of the video also, Karen. You've been in some of the videos together with me. We made an episode about the mountain. That was a great one, as I remember. So we make these Skype interviews where we meet up 4, 5, 6 admins from the UFAH group and discuss different topics on Skypes, and we record it and put it out as a little show we call Rendezvous on YouTube, and we share those talks or shows on Facebook also, where you can find it. And you can find some of the information and some of the videos on marsmoonspace.com. Also, there is a little blog in there called UFAH, where you can find most and you can find links to all the different groups that are in the family there also. But right now, I've just been checking up on the website, and it's still down. I don't know what's going on now.
I'm so sorry.
But it must be a server problem, because even the web post main is down now. So it's not just my page; it's every page is connected to that web post. So I hope that the issue will be. There will be a solution for that very soon.
I want to make sure people know that that's marsmoonspace.com. Wait a day or two till whoever is doing the server thing, because that is worth seeing. It's a really good website, and it has lots of videos. It has eye-popping anomalies. It has a lot of the Anomaly Hunters are there showing their work, so you can find people by name. And one of the names on there is Bret Colin Sheppard. Hello, Bret.
Hello.
Tell you about your wonderful discovery, the UFO on Mars, otherwise known as the Jupiter 2 UFO. And you have a couple of videos and some stuff on marsmoonspace.com. But go ahead and tell us about that discovery.
Well, I discovered that in March. I was looking through the Aram Chaos region images of the MOC, And I was looking at this one area that sort of looked like a racetrack, and it almost had an observation type area, like an observation deck area, and it looked like ice coming over a hill or something. And I noticed that there was like a little metallic type object, and I zoomed in on it. It's not very little. It's actually very large, actually. And I zoomed in on it, and it had windows on it and everything. And I was like, "What is this?" You know? And a lot of when I posted it, they sort of took off with it and called it a Jupiter 2 and a UFO on Mars, and it got kind of crazy out there, you know. But it looks like kind of like an observation deck, like a metallic observation deck, and at the very least, a very unique ice formation. At the very least, you know, so it's at least geologically interesting, if anything. But it does look metallic. It looks like there's actually some kind of UFO sitting on a hill. You know, it's very interesting.
Yeah, people want to check that out. They can go to UFOonMars.com, and I was the second person that got to see it, and it's kind of the reason why it kind of took off under the name Jupiter 2 UFO on Mars, because it looks like, and this is, I don't know if it was a joke or what, but it looks a little bit like the ship in the old TV show Lost in Space, which was called the Jupiter 2. And it's kind of an odd thing, because it's either a UFO sitting there, but because it's kind of on the edge of a cliff and maybe even looks buried into the side of the cliff, some people have called it an unidentified, oh no, it was Thomas, you called it an unidentified parked object. It looks like possibly an observation deck. And then you took off and ran with it. And Mikey, if you want to talk about your part of the story, because you were a big part of it, getting some of the first videos out there and also the first interview of Bret, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, it was awesome. I remember I was on the chat with Facebook, and we were talking about different pictures, and he showed me this picture that he sent to me in the chat, and I was like, wow. All right. I was amazed. I remember that day very, very well, and I was looking at that. That's not real. That it's not true. So I turned off Facebook, turned it on again, opened the chat again. It was still there. I was like, oh,
right. It was very exciting. It was very exciting. So what? You decided to make a movie about it. And I want to go back and say, what is the MOC? Because he says MOC. I don't think people know where that picture came from originally.
MOC is the camera called the Mars Orbiter camera that is attached on the MRO, that are the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. And the picture is taken, if I remember correct, from about 295 kilometers distance. And the picture is, if you look at the original picture from NASA without zooming on it, then you will see it's 3.1 kilometers wide and about 21 or 22 kilometers tall. The pictures in rough measurements. So if you look at the object and take the object, I actually took I have to find the right word in English. What you call it? A measure to measure the size, yes, of it. And I was sitting with my little measure. I don't know the word in English. The tool you use to measure a size with. But I was sitting and measuring the size of the picture of the object, and I would estimate that object to be about 150 and 2 to 250 meters wide. So it's not a small object. It's a huge object. This is not just a little 25 meter thing that you just can see. The resolution of that image is very high, and everything below 2.5 meters is not visible as a pixel, so to speak. I hope I pronounced it Red Sea. I'm from Denmark. I'm not English, so sometimes I have to find the right words when I'm talking about it. And I have some language issues from time to time here.
Oh, you're fine. You do really, really well, and your interview with Bret was wonderful. And when your site comes back out, people need to check that out. I have the video also on UFO on Mars.com. The video I think might go to YouTube to be visible for people. Bret, what have been your observations and thoughts since you made that discovery? What are some other thoughts that you have about that since it's been a few months?
Well, there are some thoughts I have about it. In the same image, you know, the huge image. There seems to be some themed, embedded type imagery, kind of like a picture puzzle, you know. And there's bison and there's a big white cow, you know, and there's these other things that are visible to an artist. You know, if you look at a picture as a picture, you can start to make some of these other things out. Like I was saying before, right under the anomaly that I found, it looks like a racetrack, and it looks like there's Formula 1 or Formula 2 racers, you know, that are crashed up on the hill, and it's really interesting. Neville Thompson discovered that, you know, that there was like a race car or something like that, you know, in the picture. And I don't know if he sees it as a race car, but I certainly do. You know, it looks like one. But there's some themed embedded imagery as well in that same image. But the particular anomaly is very traditional as far as anomalies go. It sticks out like a sore thumb. It's very big, and you know, it's very unusual compared to the rest of the picture.
Yes, didn't Neville discover also what might look like another ship? Or there's another thing lower.
Yes,
in the
that other ship
like,
thing.
Yeah.
That other ship thing looks to me like a Formula 2 racer almost. It's that shape. Yes.
Well, we might get our designs for race cars from UFOs. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's great. What I've loved about the formulation of the United Family of Anomaly Hunters is it really does feel like a family. We've all been looking at these things, and I kind of look over Bret's shoulder, but I do some research on some of it. And it's been a situation where this all started out as people on their own getting some images and really looking at them closely, and it's now grown to quite a few Anomaly Hunters, and the finds just keep coming that they're just jaw-dropping of sculptures, of twisted metal. I mean, all kinds of things, lots and lots of different types of crafts. There's a lot more to this, and I know that the debunkers, and I always say let's just keep the debunkers down in the bunker, right? Let's not say it, because they don't have a good argument for this. All they can ever say is that's a rock. You know, and man, it's gotten with the people taking the time to use some contrast or some different coloration to help visualize what they're seeing. The fact that some of these finds are just a rock just seems kind of where it doesn't seem like this an educated guess. It's just a debunking things, and there's a lot more to this. And some of these anomalies are now making higher levels of media. The Jupiter 2, I have to say I track all the different ways that the Jupiter 2 UFO on Mars was presented. First of all, some of them stripped your name out, Bret, so you're now just some guy. You're just some Anomaly Hunter guy with no name in some of these reports. And I think my favorite had to be, there was CW, the network CW, who did an expose on the Jupiter 2 thing. And, of course, they gave it the mockery-style treatment. They did show the anomaly, but they also showed the Lost in Space clips. They had one debunker guy that he didn't believe it, and a lot of, science fiction music, and just all the kinds of things they do when they don't know how to treat something on its face value. They give it the treatment. And but people saw it, and some people said, hey, that was really interesting. So it got all the way to television, and of course they made a mockery of it. But it needs very serious inroads into the circles. Made it to John Lear's website, I believe. I mean, it's not around. And I have to think, Mikey, you just really gave it the jump start for people to pay attention. And
yes,
I don't know how many hits you got on your video, but it had to be a lot.
I think last time I checked 50,000, 55,000 views on the video. But I have to say also, when any one of us in the many groups are doing a good find and we are presenting it on Facebook in some of the 8, I just counted, we are 8 groups, not 7. Then it often gets taken up by other people on other YouTube channels also, and it's great when other people uses our work. Of course, we like it. The only thing is that a lot of people don't credit us for the work we've done, and we also saw that with Bret's Jupiter 2 UFO. It took one day after we posted the video that I make. After I spoke to Bret about it, it was okay with that, and we used his picture and the processed pictures I made of his findings there, and Bret said, yes, it's okay, sure, this thing. The day after, there was like 3, 4, 5 other YouTube channels that somehow, in a way, had found exactly the same object, and presented them like, look what we just found, this is fantastic, and no credit to Bret or no credit to the original video, that, and that's amazing how things when you get NASA has published in publicity many millions of pictures, and then they found exactly the same Mars orbiter reconnaissance pictures, and for somehow it's damn funny to see that those exact software as I do and the same colors and make the same mistakes in the colors when they're retouching it with colors that I do, but the name Bret Colin Sheppard is somehow gone, or the Mars Moon Space Wilson Club down the corner, the logo is somehow disappeared, That's in general, we are glad when people are sharing our work and getting it out to the public. That's what it's all about. I just wish that the same people also would just remember to give the credit to those who actually do the work and do the hard work, as in this case, as Bret did, by looking hundreds and thousands of images and came up with this one after many days and hours and days and weeks sitting and looking at these images, So, but hey, so is life, and no one can win every time. I've learned to accept that this is just it works.
Yeah, I'm just glad the information's getting out there, and I do appreciate that, Thomas. Gary McKinnon posed a very, very cool thing. He actually took the UFO anomaly and used it to petition the ESA, to look at these things closer, that are in the space images. And I think that's wonderful, it's such an awareness, that to give people an awareness of that, yes, we're not alone in the universe and there's life out there and they've constructed these amazing things,
Exactly.
It's neat.
Well, you said, go ahead.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to interject. I'm kind of like sitting back here. You guys are all talking. I was just trying to find Jose, haven't found him, but as I went back onto Facebook, it says that NASA Space Agency, so a major science finding about Mars on September 4 days. The agency press release said it would detail a major science finding of its Mars exploration mission at the event, and they're speculating water is quite possible. But then some people were saying, an ever straight answer is not going to get to Mars. What do you think about this pending announcement?
I gotta say, the last time, I sat by my TV waiting breathlessly for NASA to announce something. It was a bacteria on a rock. So I don't know. I hope that they kind of like say all the anomaly hunters are right, and you should pay attention to them. That's what I hope they say. But what do you guys think?
I think that what they call big news, major news, is not really for us. I think, and what they're gonna announce Monday will be maybe. That they now have the real proof of microbes or bacteria on Mars as a beginning for them, as a small first step. Which all of us know already there is. So NASA is many years behind with the truth, so to speak. Or it could be something like, as I was talking about, I was at the UFO conference today in Copenhagen with a lot of speakers, and I was talking to those AJGR today about the NASA announcement. And I said to AJ that I think that they might come with a news like the oxygen or the air actually is being measured to be breathable, so it's possible also in other parts of Mars or something like that. I don't think they are going to announce any major news where we will sit and clap in our hands and say, hey, that's fantastic. I think we are talking about proving bacteria, microscopic life or something like that, or something like the level of oxygen or something is
they're probably
like
going to say something like that, like they've discovered water, perhaps in the cells of the bacteria or something, or I don't know, who knows. I know that there was a scientist that called NASA out on it, and what's interesting is all of the scientific mistakes NASA makes. That's what's interesting to me, and that's what should be really big news. NASA made another mistake.
The big news would be if they're actually admitted that they made a mistake. That would be the major news.
That would
NASA
be
admit
big news,
they make mistakes.
Yeah,
so.
People make mistakes, but that one is a very old one. It's like 50 years of mistakes, and it's I know that there was a NASA scientist, and he came out. I don't recall his name at the moment, but he came out and said that NASA kind of botched the data of what they found, and there was actually water found on Mars.
Yeah.
And it had something to do with ice, and they said, well, that's just frozen CO2. And he said, well, that's just frozen CO2 that melts and turns into water.
Okay. Well, somebody made an ice sculpture in the shape of a UFO over the Air and Chaos region, as far as we can tell. If that's ice, it looks like it's the UFO. Beautiful ice sculpture, wonderful art they have it there.
Well, that's what's fun about that, yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I want to bring up something real quick because it just fits the Mars situation. Of course, we have somebody listening. I know he's listening. Dr. Ken Johnston is listening because he said he was. We talked to him a few minutes ago. And he was actually one of the, not the final finalists, but before they picked the final people to go to the Mars 1 mission. And I would hope to heck they find some air, and I would hope to heck they found some water, because those people are planning to go up there and colonize, and they won't have anything to breathe or anything to wash their NASA undies with. So it's we got these grandiose plans. Why would they be making these complex plans if they didn't think that there was air, breathable air, or if they didn't think there was water? And then I want to talk about Dr. Ken Johnston's work. Of course, he's now an astronaut. He was Brett, go ahead and talk a little bit about Ken Johnston, because we've met him and talked to him and had some involvement with him, and he's very much involved in this anomaly thing as well. Go ahead, Brett.
Oh, well, we have been working on getting Dr. Ken Johnston's book published, of his autobiography, and it's been wonderful. We've had a wonderful time talking to him, and and I've been working on his archive for him to kind of organize it and see what's there, and work as an anomalist, to look at them and look actually, be one of the people that looked for anomalies in his work. And I've been finding things that would just it's what you guys were looking for. You know what I mean? It's that great, And I've seen ancient structures, ancient ruins, and there's ancient technology that's in his book. There's very new anomalies that you guys have never seen. Very strange stuff. The other thing is these images that he has are the original images. So they are the first cut images that they printed, and there's actually a background, not the black NASA background that you're used to, on the lunar lander images. You can actually see what's in the background and a lot of these images, and that's one of the things about it that I find extraordinarily very fascinating. Is that I can get in there and really look at the original images. That is so neat, and his book is amazing. It tells the story of an American hero, and it leads into his work with NASA and when he was actually working with these images that we're so fascinated with, and basically, in a nutshell, he's saying that that NASA was going to destroy those images, and he kept some copies or whatever because they told him he could, and so he did that, and those are the images that I've been looking at, and there is amazing things in those images for sure, which some of the anomalies are going to be published, with his book that's coming out, and it's going to be a wonderful book, and that book will be on kensmoonbook.com.
No. It's going to be. I want to correct that. It's Ken Johnston Media. Yeah, because I have. We haven't .com yet. I'm actually his editor and publisher. I've been really enjoying reading it and helping him get up to snuff on technology of how to get an ebook out. And it's going to be right now. It's Ken Johnston, KenJohnston media.blogspot.com, and it will have a .com pretty soon. So if you go to kenjohnstonmedia.blogspot.com and keep an eye on that webpage, stuff's coming out in the very near future that's going to be super wonderful, eye-popping, and extremely validating for all of us anomaly hunters. Thomas, you said earlier about disclosure. The point is disclosure. We just need to embarrass NASA so much where they stop lying to the American people, to the world. The Russians aren't even very happy that these artifacts of all the human endeavor to the moon have been disappearing, have been altered, have been, it's extraordinary. An extraordinary claim requires extraordinary proof. So if we have this extraordinary claim that humans went to the moon, we got a problem because the extraordinary proof is being altered. The images in the databases are being reduced in terms of resolution. We're having that history be erased right now. And so it's there's a lot of grumbling from Russia, who, of course, they didn't go to the moon. Their cosmonauts tried to, but that didn't happen. They want that history preserved for the world. It was a human achievement. And I know some people believe we didn't go, but the main thing is let's get all the information out on the table. Let's quit hiding it, and reducing it and getting rid of it and all the things going on. And we need to see this evidence. It's very important. So, Thomas, I wanted to get back to you. And first of all, Jana, do we have Jose yet?
No.
Sorry, once again.
Is Jose with us?
Yeah, could you?
Yes. Thomas, if you could go ahead and talk about besides the moon anomalies and Mars anomalies and other space anomalies, there are also Earth anomalies. And something that a story that I started tracking in the Earth Anomaly Research Society. It was one of our first stories that we started tracking, and you can find that on Facebook, Earth Anomaly Research Society, or EARS. Come find us. There's a lot of fun there. We tracked the Baltic Sea Anomaly, and that's really an interesting one. Can you tell us more about that, Thomas?
First of all, I want to say, when I talk about the Baltic Sea Anomaly, I represent myself and my own view and opinions, and not the Ocean X teams. There has been some confusion. Some people actually thought I was a part of Ocean X team. I am not. I've been visiting them 2 years in a row here every summer, and it's just a few months since I was in Stockholm last time and visited the team, and we went to a restaurant. I had a good, decent meal, and we went to a bar and had something to. All the stories begin to come up when you go to a bar and get some something to drink, and people start talking, But I've been following the Baltic Sea Anomaly. The reason I have been following this, my story about the Baltic Sea Anomaly starts already in 2007, a few years before the rock was found. That's I want to start in 2007, where I had this odd dream that I was out with some guys that spoke the language close to the Danish language, and we were. And one of the guys came up and said, "This is odd. There's something weird down here." And he came up and showed us some pictures, and the picture in my dream that this guy showed us, I remember that very clear. And in 2011, when I turned on the CNN news, by coincidence, I never watched CNN. I was just zapping through the channels, and pow, I went to CNN, and then I saw this image anomaly, and I heard the speaker say some Swedish treasure hunters has found what looks like the Millennium Falcon in the bottom of the Baltic Sea, and I was like, what? Because that picture CNN brought on the screen was exactly this 2007, and that day the Baltic Sea Anomaly became a part of me, and thus of course started following the group on Facebook, the Ocean Explorer group, where we talk about you can follow the Ocean X team in their daily work. It's not only about the Baltic Sea Anomaly, it's about what they do normal as treasure hunters, but there's a lot about the anomaly there also. So I started following everything that was going on. As soon as I got up 2 hours before I have to go to work, because then I could use 1.5 hours on the Facebook just to check up on the Baltic Sea Anomaly, to read all the posts and see what was going on. What was Dennis Osberg saying? Or Captain Kai say anything new? And so it came to be like a kind of a position for me to follow this. And so I have seen all the stories about the Baltic Sea Anomaly. I have all the theories on it. There are three main theories. There is the UFO theory as a crash, a spaceship, and there is the ancient construction theory, ancient civilization theory, and then we have the rock theory. Last one I don't believe much in, but in the beginning I was believing in the UFO theory because it was presented like it had a 1500 meter drag mark behind. It looks like, if you look at it from pictures presented on Facebook, then like something has crash landed and make a long drag mark after it on the seabed. To the Asian civilization theory, I've been studying a lot of these pictures. I have had them in my photo analyze program, and I've been trying to be looking very deep on the. I could find that was unusual, and it's just a few weeks ago I published another little video with a hole on the walls. The small walls is just a little hole that's something like 20-25 centimeters, and it looks like there are some pinball holes around that hole to attach something to that hole with nuts and bolts, and it actually looks quite weird. But the one thing that really they were out there with a lot of equipment, and first of all, there was some disturbance out there. The satellite phone did not work when they were above the object. That's one fact.
Yeah, I'd heard about that one.
Yes, so that's just one thing. The second thing was they have this ROV, remote operated vehicle. It's a little. It's a robot. It's a kind of a soft. Cameras and flow view scans and equipment on, and a little hand grip to normally use it to grab cables or something with underwater, and they tried to send directly against the object, and they were like 200-300 meters away from the object on the surface, putting this ROV down to the bottom of the sea, trying to drag anomaly. And they never gotten to the anomaly, and they could not find the anomaly. They could see it on the sonar scans they had, and when they then took the ROV to the surface, they found out that the ROV was left of the object.
Thomas?
Yes.
Tom, could you repeat that? You've been breaking up a little bit off and on through the description. You said when the ROV came up to the surface. Could you repeat what happened?
Yes, when they were trying to, they did not reach the object with the ROV, and then they had to take the ROV to the surface, and they thought the ROV was straight above the object. But when it appears on the surface, it appears something like 200 and 250 meters away from just a deviation in the compass. So they could not steer the ROV by the compass against the object. So
okay,
they had to, so to get to the object with the ROV, they had to steer the ROV and go directly down when they were about the object, and that's how they got to the object with the ROV, because there was this deviation in the compass, and that made them steer the wrong way. It was like something was making sure a lot of electronical interference down there. One motor stopped working, and some lights keep going out, and they had to take the ROV up several times before they succeeded actually getting to the anomaly with the video scans.
Hey, Thomas, I feel like we're having the same problems hearing you as they were having trying to find that anomaly. You've been breaking up kind of periodically. So I'm going to kind of move to a different topic just a bit, and we'll check back with you. And the main thing I wanted to ask Janet if we had gotten a hold of Jose yet. Janet, are you there? Wow, we're having an anomaly right here on the show. That's awesome.
I'll have to get the call.
Okay, she's working on it. Well, this is a fun show. Hey, Brett, I want to ask you, I want you to talk a little bit about the Lunar Anomaly Research Society. We had some difficulties with it. When you started it, it got up to 7,500 people. Then it got offed, and I want to tell people, come back to us. We lost our first group. It got damaged by some hacking. And then we want to tell people to make sure to check out the new group because we did restart the Lunar Anomaly Research Society. Just tell about that for a few minutes.
Yes, I restarted the Lunar Anomaly Research Society. It's already up to about 1,000, but anybody's welcome to come there. It is still there on Facebook. It's just that we had to get rid of the old one because it was kind of hijacked, by internet people. Actually, it was the government, so to speak, because they got on there and they told me that they did it. They're like, we're very sorry. If you need any other assistance, no, I don't need any meat people puppets to be posted on my thing. Thank you though, But I did.
I would test something, Jose. Jose, can you talk and see if they can hear you on the show?
Yes. Hello, Janet. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear him?
Hi, Jose.
Hello, Jose, my friend. How are you?
How everybody's doing? Okay.
They're doing great. We have Bret Sheppard, Karen, Christine Patrick, and Thomas, Mikey Schroder Jensen, and myself, Janet
Thomas.
Lessin.
How are you, Thomas? How are you guys?
We're fine.
So, Karen, do you want to catch up, Jose, where we are, and so you can...
Oh, yeah. We've been talking about the organization, the United Family of Anomaly Hunters, that Thomas and some of us put together. We've talked about Bret Colin Sheppard's find, the UFO on Mars, which when you sent the link to your movie, I was sitting right by him. He's my partner, and we watched your wonderful movie because his UFO on Mars was in it. And we've also been talking about Dr. Ken Johnston, the astronaut, coming out with his book and some of his archive of NASA photos coming out pretty soon. And we're very excited to hear about your new film. What's the film called again? I've got the wrong paper in front of me. Go ahead.
From outer space. Is that correct? UFOs from outer space.
And you know what, guys? I am so excited. In the next week or two, I'm going to have a private screening of UFOs from outer space to Sean Stone and his dad. His father's going to be here, Oliver Stone.
Wow. Oh my God, that's wonderful.
Great.
He did JFK, did all these movies, and his dad is coming here to my house. I am totally.
Wow.
So, they're coming over. Yeah, there's going to be about 10 or 20 people here for a private screening of UFOs from outer space. This is Sean Stone's first serious movie regarding a conspiracy, this kind of thing. And he did all Oliver Stone. He did JFK. He did Natural Born Killers. He did Wall Street. He, from what Sean told me, that his dad is really not into this stuff, but he is coming to my house here in the Hills, and he's going to be here. I am so blown away that this enormous major director, Oliver Stone, is going to be sitting here in my presence watching my film starring his own.
Wow.
This is really awesome. I'm really excited. I'm very
Wow.
Congratulations. Amazing.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm totally blown away. I mean, I've never met Oliver Stone. I've seen his movies, and he's been an incredible director. He's going to be in my house. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
I'm totally blown away.
I know. If that were my house, I'd be hiring a house cleaner and getting.
I know. Exactly. I'm hiring a house cleaner coming in tomorrow. To clean my house and everything else. It's going to be here in a week. So this is really exciting.
Wow.
That's great.
Oh, I
Yeah,
was there.
blown away.
I was just
That's
in L.A. last week. Oh, well. You wouldn't have had me anyway, but I could wish. I could hope.
I wish you were in L.A. in a couple of weeks. I mean, you're invited.
Okay, fly back over.
I'm sure he's going to love it, Jose.
It's really a
So
great
tell us a
film.
little bit
I
about
watched
the
it.
movie. What's being represented in the movie? Tell us a little bit more about the UFOs.
UFOs from outer space is all about UFOs filmed by NASA and other space agencies. It is totally all about film space. One shot is a UFO found by anyone shot in outer space.
In space, I've seen they look like they're living beings.
Oh, God.
No, the other
you mean
beings. They look like living beings. Not
You mean the
rods.
rods or the orbs?
They're kind of orbs, but some of them seem like they might be living. They have like not tentacles, but moving parts. They remind me of like sea anomaly and stuff like that. I've seen the.
What I had in my film are objects that have been filmed by different cameras and satellites that are out in deep space. I have space cables. These are an anomaly, man. It's out in space, man. These are space cables that are existing out there. There's also UFOs that are surrounding our sun.
Mm-hmm.
There's also UFOs that are farther up in space. I mean, and I have a color of Pluto. That was this shot was provided to me by Neville Thompson, who's one of the guys that's with Thomas here. Neville Thompson had a full color shot of Pluto, man. It's amazing.
Wow.
So I did a whole sequence zooming into this shot of Pluto in full color. It's amazing, man. And all I got to say, and of course I have a lot of Mars, moon space footage in there. Thomas and his team have provided me with some of the most spectacular shots of moon Mars footage. I am so excited. Team have given me and provided the most amazing footage. And I got to tell you that I'm so excited to have these involved in my film.
Mm-hmm.
They're making my of filmography in my film, and I'm so excited to have them involved with me. They are some of the most spectacular filming of Mars footage. I had to do 2 music videos. I did a music video with them, with outstanding photography and their discoveries. It's amazing what these guys have discovered. Really.
Where are you going to distribute this? How can we see it? And have you submitted this to the International UFO Congress big event with 2,000 people that's in Scottsdale? I think it's February. I'll look it up. They do a film festival, and they give out awards like Oscars, and I know you'd win if you want to.
Well, I probably will present it, but right now the problem is this film is a union film.
Uh-huh.
In other words, I am a SAG film, SAG, Screen Actors Guild film. I hired Sean Stone, who's a Screen Actors Guild member. So that automatically my movie is a union film.
Ah.
And what I've had to do is I have to be very careful with its release.
Mm-hmm.
I am giving him a percentage of the sales of the video. He's collecting the profits from sale of the film. So I cannot release the film for free. Okay, I have to pay, and I have to pay him percentage of the sale. So if I do present it at the festival,
right.
For an award, I'd be very careful because, it has to be presented in a way to where every presentation I have to pay him and other people that are involved a percentage of the profits made. So this is my first film that I've released that is Well,
wouldn't you copies of it and give them a percentage of the sales? They always
that, but I have to pay the union some dollars to screening. So it costs me to pay money out, and it's just part of the deal.
So where will this be shown?
It's a union movie. Let me tell you.
How can we, the average person, see the film? Is it going to be on HBO?
Person, yeah, no, they can go to blnfilms.com and pay $10. They see the film they get a 2-day access to the movie for $10, and out of that $10, I have to pay the union and that kind of deal. But they get to see the film. It's like what
Great.
I'm very excited.
It's an awesome film.
I am very excited.
Yeah, it was an incredible film.
To the panel, questions for Jose. Back to you, Karen, or the camera, Jose.
Hello, Ken. Hello, Karen. Hello.
Hello, Jose. I'm on a different line, Janet, because I got dropped out. But I'm very, very excited about the film. I got to see it, and over Bret's shoulder because you sent him a link. It's fantastic, and I'm very excited about it. And you really hit all the major anomaly friends that I have, Neville Thompson and Thomas Mikey and Bret Colin Sheppard. And I want to tell you there's more coming. We have Ken Johnston, the astronaut, who's had the archive for years, coming out with anomalies, and I've been calling this the year of the anomaly. And, you know, I guess NASA's supposed to have a big announcement on Monday, but you know what? We actually have the news. So I'm very anxious to have people find out about it and see it, because we're kind of chipping away at the lies that we've been told. And when you're making your films, what are you hoping to accomplish? Are you trying to push disclosure because it's time? You know, everyone's saying on the back end of it, it's time. The jig is up. We already know what's going on. What's your thoughts on how this affects disclosure?
You are keeping in and out posting here. Here's what it is with my movies. I have contacted Stephen Bassett, who is the main guy that got the disclosure. And I told him he has access to my movie. My film, UFOs from Outer Space, is the epitome of UFO movies. There is no movie like this at all in the world. This is the film that shows how NASA has known about UFOs, how NASA has filmed UFOs, and I met Steve Bassett and his crew to present to the Congress, because if he ever needed evidence that proves that NASA knew about UFOs, this is the film. This is the movie that lays it all out. So, coming soon. But this is the movie. This is the movie that displays the evidence. Bye.
Wow. Okay,
Wow.
Do we still have Thomas and Bret? Are you still with us?
I'm still here. Yes.
Okay.
My cell phone went out, so I'm sharing the line with Bret.
Okay, that's good that you live together. Makes it easy. Go ahead, Karen.
I'm saying bye to friend.
Bye, Lady Fred. Oh, I get to hug her goodbye.
Okay. Great.
Okay,
bye.
My friend is leaving town right now. She's on her way to LAX, and I had to say bye to her.
Oh, yeah, that's sweet. Lots of love in the room here. Hey, Thomas, did you have a question?
I love everybody, man. Thomas, it's good to have you on the show with you.
Yeah, it's good to be here with you, my friends. You know, we love you too, you know, and what you did was all comes up, and I think it's up now because it's trying to connect. It wasn't before, but I would like to say while I have the voice that we did a Skype session with where you can hear us talk about the movie, and you can hear what Jose actually also said. Now, Jose was breaking up a little bit, and I don't know if it just was in my end, but I only got half of the word that he did, so I would recommend. There is a link on top of the main page saying UFOs from Outer Space, where you can find the trailer also. There's a 7-minute trailer where you can get a little taste of what's coming your way if you're going to buy the movie, which. And I can tell you now that the website is up and running again, so you can go in now and check out the UFOs from outer space on marsmovies.com on the front page. And I said this before, and I say it again. We from UFAH, and we are counting several groups. We are counting EMI, that's by Robert Bryan. We are counting Alien Life, which is Neville Thompson's group, and my group, Mars Moon Space Photo Club. We have Mars Discoveries, Anomaly Solar System, Anomalies, which is Coach Billy Carson's club. It's a big one. So we have What's Up in the Sky by Will Ferrara. We have Lars, Lunar Anomaly Research Society with Bret Colin Sheppard. And we have a new upcoming group by Rory Daniel O'Brien, which is about NASA secrets. And all of us has achieved. We love you, Jose. And I can only say it. I cannot say this enough. Thank you so much for sharing our work. We were just talking in the beginning of the show here about how important it is to share. Of course, I've seen the movie, and I was amazed. And when I saw this movie that Jose has made, I was clapping my hands with my hands above my head. I was dancing around and looking like something you don't want to know. Professional, high quality movie as Jose has done. Thank you, Jose, again.
Well, Tom, I de-edited the film. You may want to look at it again. I have cut down some of the sunships and some of the sky stuff. I have cut it down a little bit, maybe by about 10 minutes. I am fixing to add a whole segment on the Comet 67P. I'm doing a whole segment on that, so that's going to be added before the film is finally released. The film is on the 10th or 15th of October. Still working on it. It's still a work in progress. But I'm fine-tuning it, and, this is the process that it takes. When you produce a film like this, there's a process, directing and editing and things like this. It's a process, man,
Mm-hmm. I know.
The final release will be when it's finished, so... what Thomas and them are seeing right now are first versions of film, and there's a lot of changes that are coming up, being made. And what can I say, man? I am so proud to have Thomas and his group a part of my movie. They are incredible researchers. And I am so proud to have them involved in the film.
As I said last time, now the tears are running from my eyes. Yeah, so. We love you, Jose. You've done a great job. You have, that.
Jose, go ahead. I just want to say there was random acts of dancing in the Sheppard and Patrick household. We were silly too. We were very excited.
With all these videos out there, the second part, I don't know more about this comet, but my first question is, are you seeing anything about Planet X, Nibiru, Nemesis, the brown dwarf? Are you getting any videos from space on those types of things?
And that kind of stuff, I am not in tune with it. I have seen footage and I have seen announcements of it, but no, I'm not into it at this moment. Not enough to where I would include it in this movie. Who knows, man? You know?
Yeah,
it's something that's happening. I'm just not into it.
And the second part was, could you tell us about the comet you mentioned?
Oh yeah, Comet 67P. I have an incredible amount of photography. There are some things on that comet that are special, man. I mean, there are things on that comet that are amazing, and I'm going to do in the film, I'm going to present some of the most amazing shots taken by NASA. The footage is going to be amazing stuff of possibly cities, UFOs, and other things that exist on the planet, on this comet. I don't know yet. I don't know yet if I'm going to include this in the film. I'm right now looking at the evidence and saying, wow, should I include that in the film? I don't know yet if I'm going to include this in the movie. So right now I'm debating as to whether to put that in the film. The movie right now is finished as far as I'm concerned. But if I decide to include footage from Planet 67, I don't know yet.
What are your considerations? What are some of your concerns and considerations around that decision?
Well, I'm investigating the photography. All right. Before I decide to go for it, I got to make sure that this is authentic photography and not fake. Okay. I don't want to be a part of, how do you say, I don't want to be a part of a fake deal.
Right.
So before I include this in the movie, as far as my movie is concerned, it's finished. But before I add this stuff in there, I have to make sure that it is authentic. It is not a fake thing, a hoax. So that's where I'm at. I don't want to put anything in there that's fake.
Right.
That later on they're going to say, oh, this girl has this fake stuff.
Right.
I don't want to do that. So right now my movie is finished. I presented the evidence as it is, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to include this comet stuff until I find out whether it's real or not, Come on, man. I have to make sure. I have to make sure it's real.
Well, I have two thoughts on that. First is how would you authenticate it, and the second one is perhaps you could include it with a disclaimer. I don't know if this is real or not, but it's very, very interesting.
Well,
what do you think?
That's the thing about my movies. I don't put in, I don't know if this is real or not. I don't do that.
Okay.
My films are presenting as present self. Maybe I'll do another segment, just on the evidence of the proclamation of the comet stuff. But I'm not going to put that in my movie because I don't feel that I should have to explain. This may be real, it may not be real. My movies are about what's real. Okay? I don't profess to be making films that may or may not be real, That's my standard, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So my movie, UFOs from Outer Space, is all real stuff, man. That's it. I don't have to explain it away. I don't have to say, well, some of this might be or might not be real. I don't say that. You know, UFOs from space is all real. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And for me to try to explain away whether it might be real or may not be real, it's not my standard, you know.
Cool.
That's where I am.
Karen and Panel.
That's what my difference is.
Thank you. Karen and Panel, what would you like to ask or add or comment?
Yes, I was really felt really good that one of your segments you talked about experiencers, contactees, and whatnot. One of the commentators talked about that for briefly, which was very heartening because I work with the Dr. Edgar Mitchell Foundation for Research into Extraterrestrial Encounters, and we have an event on Thursday, October 1st, Experiencer Liberation Day. And so I work with that population, and it would surprise people how many researchers of anomalies and all kinds of exopolitics and ufology are actually experiencers, some of whom have not made themselves public, some of whom who will maybe even make themselves public on the 1st of October, I'm hoping. So I just want to set you up for your next movie, Jose, when you need some experiencers with some very well-documented good data, because we've got a study, a research survey study coming out in December about the experiencers movement and how it relates to the things that you're talking about. I just want to say, hey, put a bug in your ear. We got some really good testimony, good people that would love to come and share more about that, because there's many of their stories corroborate what you're seeing in your movies, because some of them are astronauts, some of them are been up above, up above a little bit and seen some of the things that you've been seeing, and so we've got corroboration between the experiencers movement and the films and photos and the many things, evidences that have been coming out. And I have to say, people if they're not watching the back channels of this, the information is just coming out. There's more archives and things that are coming out. People who are ready to tell their story. I'm hearing from deep whistleblowers who have been sitting on stuff for a while saying it's time. And I think there's a momentum for disclosure in the idea that we are disclosure. We humans, with our human experience, can observe this thing. We can understand this thing. We're not afraid of it. Our government thinks we're afraid of it. We are not. And so I just appreciate so much your movies, because they're, like you said, this is real stuff. And it is also for people who are experiencers, who are harassed and mocked and ridiculed, and many of them are risking reputations and their places in society, and maybe a few family members thinking they're a little bit crazy, to come out and to say, yes, I saw this thing that I saw, or I experienced this thing. It's a human experience. It's not a paranormal, weird, strange, unusual thing. It's quite common. It's been as common as far back as many centuries before us. The stories of the indigenous people, the pioneers on the plains of Texas and here in where I live in Texas, all the way to the modern era. This is not going away, and more information is coming out. And your films and everyone's testimony and the Anomaly Hunters' work is pushing disclosure. If we just expect the President of the United States to come up and tell us something, well, he's a politician. I'm not sure if, what he'd be really saying. Would he have it skewed towards some political objective? But when it's the people who are taking a look at these things and analyzing them objectively and maybe debunking and asking some questions, that's okay. But there's a thing called pseudo-skepticism, and it's a situation where people just knee-jerk reject it because they're not ready to look into it. And I encourage even debunker-type people or skeptics, look into this deeper. There's more going on than you might realize. It's quite a large amount of evidence is coming out. So I'm very excited that you're going to have Hollywood people in there. I mean, this is the best story ever. If Hollywood wants some great stories, stop making remakes. Start talking about this stuff. This is good stuff.
It is. It is.
Well, I'm very excited to hear from you, number one. Doctor has been part of it, man. I was on the Geraldo Rivera show with him, and it was a few years ago. The thing is, I am excited that I am going to have Oliver Stone and his son, Sean, here. They don't know it yet. I mean, there is going to be happening. It is going to be happening in the next week or two. And, here's the thing. I am making a movie called UFOs from Outer Space. It is about UFOs shot by NASA, and it's an amazing film. It is an incredible movie that has UFOs shot in outer space. And for all we know, this is all because of the footage shot by our own government. And all I can say is that it's real. It's going to be an incredible movie. People are going to find this in their own right. They're going to find this movie an amazing film. It's going to be what has been missing from the corporate presentations. I mean, this is the film that proves UFOs are real. This is the film that proves NASA has been party to objectifying the existence of UFOs. I mean, what can I say? This is the movie that proves UFOs are real.
This is the movie. Sorry.
Covered the existence of UFOs the 1950s, man. So I'm just proud. I'm just very proud that I am part of this. And Sean Stone is starring in it, and Oliver Stone is going to be here in my house. He's going to be in the house.
Great.
Can I add something?
That right there is an astounding feat. That right there is an astounding feat. So, anyway.
Thomas wants to ask you something. Go ahead, Thomas.
This is great. This is awesome, and you deserve all the attention you can get, and we want to give it to you. And I have a little message to you also, say from Billy Carson, just sitting here with the chat. Invite me to the movie premiere. So we remember. What? Sorry. You disappeared, Jose?
He's still here. He said he's blown away. That Oliver Stone is coming to his house, and
I know.
Blown away.
Are you kidding me? This is the director of JFK. All these movies. I still haven't heard from him yet. I don't know if he's going to be here or not. But you know what? He's going to be here. That's all I got.
I wanted to say one thing too, is that you have this amazing footage in this movie. You now have standing behind the "this is real" idea. of Dr. Edgar Mitchell, who put his name up there with experiencers. He's on the board. He's on the record saying that UFOs are real, alien life is real, the alien extraterrestrial civilizations are real. You also have Dr. Ken Johnston, who's saying that there's evidence on the moon showing ancient technology and ancient civilization stuff. He's on the record saying that aliens are real and that these two gentlemen have had some form of contact. They're ready to stand shoulder to shoulder with all the other experiencers and all the other anomalists and all the people in media who are trying to tell the story. I can't imagine they can keep this under wraps too much longer. And NASA better just Monday, when they have their big announcement, say, oh, yes, all these people are right. Instead, they'll probably tell us that they found maybe a little bit of air and water on Mars, and that'd be great. But how long? We're going to be knocking on that door to let them know we're on to them.
I am so proud. I'm so proud of this film. You know, Thomas, I'm so proud of this movie. I really am. What can I say?
I have a quick.
Sure.
Are you ready for a question from the audience? Let me a question. It could be just somebody observing, but 1 second. On. It's not going to work. Okay, sorry, questioner. Working.
I'm going to bring Bret in here too for a minute. We're going to swap out phones, and I bet he's got a question. Go ahead. Can Bret ask a question?
Yeah. Oh wait, here I got caller area code 804. Do you have a question, or are you just listening?
I just told in. How long y'all gonna be on?
Okay.
Because I'm fascinated about Mars myself, right?
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
Okay.
I've got to go.
Okay, Jose, thank you for joining our show. We're going to be wrapping up in a few minutes anyway. But, please do send us all the information for us to help promo it. We want to get the word out far and wide so you get the biggest audience possible.
Okay, I will.
We love you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Jose. I'm very happy to have seen your movie, and I wish you the best of luck and everything with your movie and getting it out there, and I hope we can get the info out there. I'm very excited about Oliver Stone coming to see you. That is so cool.
Yes. We'll see you on Sunday, Jose. If you got the time for it, then we'll see you there again. I hope so.
I'll talk to you Sunday.
Okay. Love and blessings and aloha. Okay, Jose is gone.
Okay.
Karen, are you still there? Do we have you? Bret, do we have you? And Thomas.
Yes.
Hi. Okay, what do we want to cover? Or do we wrap up? We're down to the last half hour, but we don't go the whole time unless we have things we want to cover. Karen, what are your thoughts?
Well, we have quite a few links to share with people. I would like to go back over those for where to find when Jose's movie's coming out, if we can repeat that. Have Mikey tell about some of the links for the United Family Anomaly Hunters. I'll reshare those because I want people to really check them out. There's a lot of stuff coming out, and these are great places to find out the latest information. So, Jose, if you could repeat when and where and how your film is coming out one more time for us, that'd be good.
He got off. He had to go. Yeah.
Oh, so well, okay. We're passing these phones back and forth. I'm missing the messages. No, it was great to have him on, and people need to see it. It's getting the kinds of quality people that were in it in the movie commenting was excellent. Excellent information. The films are eye-popping and wonderful. I've seen some of them before. Some I hadn't. So everyone check that out. And also, Thomas, you want to repeat, make sure everybody knows where to find United Family of Anomaly Hunters information?
You can find some of it on marsmoonspace.com. UFAH website that's called www.ufa. Find some of the links to some of the videos related to UFAH. There will be a link to that website on marsmoonspace.com. Also on Marsmoons, I'll talk about a lot about marsmoonspace.com. But
it's a great website, marsmoonspace.com, and I'm glad it's back up again because it has loads of information.
There is on top that's called UFAH, and I will make sure before I go to bed later today here, and that there is a link to the UFAH .space, where you can find some of the videos. You can also find the videos of Mars, and you can find UFOs from outer space. You can find 2 different Skype interviews with UFOs from outer space with Jose Escamilla, and they're also from the movie. I would like to add that we did not talk about who was in the movie, in Jose's movie, and I would say there is a sequence with Mike Barra speaking. Some of it. There is Lina Eisenhower is in the Jose's movie also, giving her some of her thoughts about life in the universe. Of course, we have Martin Stubbs and John Stone and the flight and some statements about that in the movie also. I can only recommend it to go in and check out the trailer that also is on the website, where you can find. The movie would have premiere in around mid-October. Able to find it on pay-per-view. I don't know have the exact web address yet, but I will make sure that there is a link in marsmoonspace.com under UFOs from outer space. Yes. And
okay,
while I still... yes, sorry, Karen.
Go ahead, Brett. Or somebody, you were breaking up, Thomas. I guess it's because we're talking to you all the way across the world. But I don't know how, but I was breaking up on my end. But we'll see at the end of the show. Karen, are you still there? Or Brett, are you there? What would you like to say?
It's me. I wanted to mention some other assets. On Facebook, there's a number of anomaly groups that Brett and I are involved in. I did want to mention the 4th annual Mars Anomaly Research Society's conference. It's going to be on October 24th in Mobile, Alabama. Janet, we've got a wonderful asset now called truthevents.com. If you go to truthevents.com, you'll be able to find that 4th annual Mars Anomaly Research Society conference, and Andrew Bishaga is going to be the speaker. That's going to be really awesome. Yeah. And we're, an organization in that same anomaly research groups. I do the Earth Anomaly Research Society, so on Facebook you look up Earth Anomaly Research Society, you'll find us. We're 4,000 plus. We talk about everything earthbound, crop circles, pyramids, sinkholes, and the Baltic Sea Anomaly. And historical stuff. I'm a total historical geek, so we do that some of that stuff too. And then the Lunar Anomaly Research Society, you again find us on Facebook. Lunar Anomaly Research Society restarting and with better than ever with really cool new information. Be watching Ken Johnston Media .blogspot.com, soon to become a full domain name, but I'm working on it. And he's going to have a wonderful book called Ken's Moon, and it's his autobiography. And it's also going to have lunar movies from the Apollo missions and lunar stuff and anomalies, and it's his wonderful human story coming from Texas and becoming an astronaut. And he actually trained almost all the astronauts on how to land the lunar module onto the surface of the moon. And he's a really human person. He's wonderful, down to earth, and has an amazing story to tell from the inside. And then his book will be coming out, Ken's Moon, and also some of the archives will be coming out in the next few months. December, watch for the amazing historical survey of experiencers with the Dr. Edgar Mitchell Foundation for Research into Extraterrestrial Encounters. It's free, FREE.experiencers on Facebook. This is going to be the most amazing next half of this year and the next year. It's for all of us independent researchers. We're joining together to tell an amazing, huge, complex story. And of course, Aquarian Radio, oh my gosh. You guys have been on the Anunnaki thing forever, and that's a whole story in and of itself of human origins that people need to pay attention to. This is really big stuff, and I was really glad to get everybody on today. Thank you, Janet.
Thank you.
Oh,
I wanted to just
I'm getting one more note from Bret that just here's Bret real quick.
Go ahead, Bret.
I just wanted to make a correction on what Karen said. He classifies himself as a civilian astronaut because he's the one that taught all the astronauts about the LEM and how to go into space and everything else, and was a big part of that. But he didn't actually go to the moon or anything like that. So I just wanted to correct that.
Okay. And I have one
Johnston,
correction.
yeah.
Karen, you did a great job with this. It's truthevents.org. Truthevents.org.
Oh, my bad.
That's not bad. I wish I had .com, but somebody else grabbed it. So we got truthevents.org. If you want your event listed on that, send us an email. I think there's a link there, but it's better to send it to Aquarian Radio Network at gmail.com. Aquarian Radio Network at gmail.com. And we have many websites to do emails. Go ahead.
Mikey, go ahead.
Yes, all right. Mars Anomaly Research Society and the Mars conference in Mobile, Alabama. Are any one of you joining the conference? Anyone?
No, but I know all the people organizing the conference. It's Louis Michael Reinhardt and Patricia Bullock and Ross Curley. All of those are Anomaly people. I mean,
good friend of mine also. Yes,
they're good they're a family too of Anomaly Hunters.
Yeah. Cool. I can add also about Mars and Anomaly Society.
Yes, you work with him also. Yes.
I see him as a great inspiration for and a great inspiration to keep going on with my work. I really like him a lot. I'm also an admin in Andrew's Mars group.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Andrew Bishago.
Both Mars and Project Pegasus was heavily attacked by spammers a little year ago, and it was like something like 50, 60, 70, and that was porn spam. Someone said, "Hey, I got a lot of Facebook group. I know how to handle this. I know you don't have the time to take care of it, otherwise than just delete it. So if you want to, I can help you." And he added me as an admin in Mars, and I where they came from. Started removing those who added the spammer, and it was like a chain. And sometimes we could remove 30, 40, 50 people in a row from a group, all related to the same person or added by the same person. And spammers, they're still there, but nothing compared to a year ago. Where I think it was some kind of organization going directly at his group, because he had just announced that he would might want to run for president. It was to create what you call it in English, to make his group look bad, So we got in control of it all. Again, I never thought control, but all this and remove all those. A lot of time removing people, digging into who they were and studying profiles and stuff to keep his groups. Talked to Andrew on the chat a few months there, and he's a very, very nice guy. I really like him. He's a big inspiration source for me. So I just wanted to add that also, and talk about the Mars. To go into society and then use a search bar and search for Mars conference, and there you can find info about how to hook up to the conference. So I don't recommend it, and I was able to be there myself. I didn't have the money to pay for a flight ticket. If I had, then I would have been there. So,
yeah.
And I hope that Andrew and Louis will have a great success, and I hope there will come a lot of people to add, because that people are making a conference like this about Mars. You don't see that a lot. You see a lot of exopolitical conference covering Europe and life in the universe. So I hope to get the message out to as many as possible. Go join that conference if you have interest in Mars at all and life in the universe. It would be very interesting, and I'm sad that I couldn't. For the guys here and big success in 30, I think it was. Yes.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. We have 18 minutes left to the show. I just wanted to say I wish I could be there. However, we are going to be at the Benton's UFO Con Experiencers event in Sacramento, California that weekend. Dr. Lessin and I will be presenting my information on my contact. I'm an experiencer, and my experiences, I'm an Anunnaki experiencer, so I'll be including that. And then Dr. Lessin and I are going to be one of different facilitators. I should call this up Barbara Lamb and one other, my apologies to the third facilitator. We're going to have ongoing experiencers group, so everybody has a chance to work with a therapist, express their concerns and be witnessed with their issues and their encounters, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a new phenomenon that's occurring. The Experiencers Conferences, I know they've had one in Maine for many years, and they have an experience of the UFO Congress in February at the Indian Reservation in Scottsdale, Arizona. But this is the first, hopefully, of many, and we invite everybody to stop on by in Sacramento, California, and it starts October 24th. It's a 2-day event, 24th and 25th, UFOcon.com, or California, UFOcon.com is the website. Back to you, Karen. We have a few minutes if you want to.
I want to give a shout out to also about Andrew Bishago, because we've worked with him. I was very inspired by Project Pegasus and the Mars Anomaly Research Society, and it was through Andrew and Bret getting me to become the Earth Anomaly Research Society main admin, that I really hooked into all this and learned so much. And it's sort of how me and Bret got together, actually. But it's really this is these wonderful circles of very intelligent people. These are people spending hours of their time looking, and they're educating themselves, and other people are coming along and educating themselves. And Andrew Bishago is also an inspiration to me. I've met him in Washington State and heard many hours of lecture from him, and he's very precise and detailed about what he's talking about. And I know if people see him in media, there's the full what he's trying to say doesn't come across as in just a couple of minutes in media. So if people have a chance to hear him speak at all, they should jump at it. And also want to say that, please be checking truthevents.org. This is something I'm helping Janet to do, so we can get all these different conferences. And you're right, Mikey, there's not that many anomaly conferences. Hopefully that's going to begin to grow.
Yes.
There's just a
Hopefully.
few experiencers conferences, and that's going to grow. I mean, this is not going away anytime soon, and it's a lot of fun. So, Mikey, did you have a comment?
As I said before, I go to conference and connect to it. Go check it out. See what's going on. Go to Facebook and check out some of the.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Mikey. Thanks for coming.
If it's okay with you, I would like subject just for 2 minutes here.
Okay.
Because today I had an awesome day today, and I would like to tell you. I hope we got the time for it. I'm on just had our annual UFO conference in Copenhagen today. O'clock this morning and ended up at 5 o'clock in the evening, and went out to have dinner with our guest later here. And we had Susan Hansen, and we had AJ with us, and Susan Hansen before. She's a UFO investigator from New Zealand. I didn't know much about her. I would like to tell you that today I was blown away today. There is politicsdanmark.dk where you can go in. You cannot see the lecture with Susan yet. There will probably go a few months in the public. There's a lot of work in it. But there's some videos from last which also we had Robbie Graham with us also last year also. You can go and see those interviews on exopoliticsdanmark.com. But I wanted to add today that I was so amazed about Susan. UFOs, about craft, about I could rely on everything. I could understand and what you call it in English. I felt I knew what she was talking. So mind blowing the way she did about grace. She talks about what do you call it? What's the word in English? Manhid.
Mantid
Yeah.
beings?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And she talked about being out in craft and about being taken with those beings. For us.
Well,
I would just like to say, go and Google Susan Hansen, UFOologist, UFO researchers, and you will find a lot of awesome stuff. AJ was there today. He's magazine and UFO organization there. Awesome. And I showed AJ Jawad the trailer from Jose Escamilla's UFOs from outer space, and AJ gave thumbs up. Coming from him tomorrow. I'm gonna eat dinner with him tomorrow again here. I'm gonna be up in 5 hours. I have to pick him up again at the hotel and drive him to a up. I saw the movie from Jose Escamilla, and he's gonna recommend it tomorrow when I'm getting a camera on him. If I get the time for it, we find the time for it there. So, and Mary Rodwell with Mary and AJ at the same time. It was a company to be. These are loving people. These are great people and good researchers. So I would like to and as soon the video from today's UFO conference will be available, I will make sure to put out a link to it on marsmoonspace.com, so those who are can come in to exopolitics. I will put it in. There's a link called UFOs on Mars. I will put the exopolitics links in there so people can go. So I would just like to add that about Mary and Adama Jose and Susan Hansen today, because that was an awesome day today, and that was my. Actually, Mary showed us a little from a video we were talking, and she showed us a sequence with a person who speaks a star language. It sounds very weird, and I believe it's 100% true. Star language. These appear in the video, side of the screen to another, and in a different. They're not changing direction, but they're all going in different direction, and you see it so clear in the video. And I have not seen anything flying in high speed across the screen, and that was so mind-blowing, because if you orbs and stuff like that, then this video Mary presented was awesome, and I would recommend you to go Google Rodwell, and I don't have a link for the exact video that was. I'm sorry. If you want to see it, I definitely have to show this to Jose to see if he wants to add the orbs to his movie. Maybe, I don't know. So that
okay. Did we lose Mikey?
No, I'm still here.
Thank you so much. I was having a difficult time hearing, but exopoliticsdenmark.com I think is one of the links to follow for that, and also marsandmoonspace.com. What?
.dk.
Oh, DK. Sorry, exopoliticsdenmark.dk. Like yes. I don't know. Good.
Denmark.
Okay, and then that's good. They had exopolitics is a whole other part of this story. Janet, back to you. I think we're good. This has been awesome.
Okay, well, I think we're at the end of the show. I want to thank everybody. Is everybody okay that we end the show? Are we good?
Yeah. I can tell you that tomorrow we're going on Sacred Matrix show, the Sunday show. We're going to have the Linkage Institute people come back on next Thursday. Is the Experiencers Liberation Day. We're going to be having a show about that with Ray Hernandez and some other special guests. It's getting real exciting, folks.
It certainly is. It's really heating up. So I will talk to Karen later about who exactly is going to come on the show tomorrow. But we're excited to have the members of the Linkage Institute come back again. Seeing that people are on the cutting edge of information regarding contact with the Anunnaki and other extraterrestrials. Some of the members of the Linkage Institute actually have met face-to-face with the Anunnaki. They're not a myth, they're real, and they walk among us. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and thank our members, Bret, Karen, Jose, and Thomas. Thank you so much for coming. Or Karen's my co-host. But thank you, everybody, for coming to the show today. I get mixed up. I don't even know who I am half the time. But we're having a good time. I think next time we do a show, it was an accidental thing Jose called me, and then I was able to just click him on, and you guys were able to hear him. So I think we can do that next time, Thomas, because the connections are a little bit funky with this
it was.
system. As you keep fading in and time, we'll just have you do the same thing as Jose did, call you on Skype and get you in that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's been another episode of Aquarian Radio at aquarianradio.com. And I am your host, Janet Lessin. My co-host has been Karen Christine. And once again, I want to tell you much love, blessings, and aloha.
Goodbye.
And thank you for having us here.